What is up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to another episode of the What the Fanboy Show. I am Brett. My co-host over here in the middle on the couch, Mr. Tyler.
Oi, oi.
Not just Tyler, Mr. Tyler. As
Mr.
what my daughter, that's my daughter knows you as.
That's okay. That's all right, you know?
And then next to him, Big Mac himself. What's that? What's that in your mouth there, Luke?
McCrispy.
Oh.
Oh, the chicken sandwich?
The McCrispy himself. Luke.
I don't eat hamburgers at McDonald's. Sorry, my mic was away. I don't eat hamburgers at McDonald's. I think they're gross, but I like their chicken.
I will suffer a hamburger every once in a while. It's always a mistake. Like, I understand. At the end of the day, I'm like, ooh, should I have done that? Probably not.
I just get a McDouble and live with it.
It's not even that it's like it's bad. It's just that when I was a lifeguard in high school, me and my brother we'd go to church and then
you'd eat there.
We'd have to eat really quick because the pool opened in almost less than an hour. So we just go to McDonald's real quick, and I'd always get like a quarter pounder or something.
Oh, so you ate
so
many.
You pack in before swimming a quarter pounder?
Before lifeguarding is different.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
But eventually it did start to I would just be sitting in the heat. I just ate a quarter pounder with cheese, and I was just like, why do I feel horrible? And
that explains it.
It explained a
lot.
That
does.
I was like, oh, okay, I'll just eat chicken sandwiches and chicken nuggets, and I haven't really felt bad since.
Okay.
I love Mickey D's to this day, baby. Oh, yeah, super underrated in my opinion.
Mickey D's is pretty good.
Now that it's not super unhealthy, I'm not saying it's healthy.
But it's not like the worst thing out there.
Yeah, there are worse options for sure. And there's still things on the McDonald's menu that you stay away from.
That frappe thing? They still got that?
Anything ice cream with them, I just don't trust.
You don't trust somebody's ice cream?
Don't trust McDonald's ice cream. Ty, you good over there?
It's just milk.
Just, working on the mic situation.
We're doing it live.
Like last week. Just constantly adjusting.
You'd think that someone who kind of manages the studio would have made some improvements between last episode and this episode, but
no, I wouldn't.
We'll improve slowly over time.
That's right. We'll get there.
Or we'll just completely crumble and fail and won't even know.
No,
we'll still
I think we've proven.
We'll
I think we've proven we're a little bit like cockroaches.
It
does not matter how few viewers, how few listeners we have. We're just gonna keep going, baby.
That's right.
You can count on us always being here.
We're just here having a good time.
And look, if you're here to have a good time, share the vibes. We love it.
What other point is there to this podcast nobody listens to other than having a good time? Let's be real.
This is true.
Three guys and we're having a good time.
Just three guys.
Having a good time. Having a good time.
Is that 2 points for Inception there?
I think so.
Nice.
Well, yeah. Today we're going to talk some news, some big news this afternoon before the show. And at least we haven't even talked about it. It's been a crazy week. I've had things every evening, it seems like.
It's holidays.
It's the holidays. I managed to get out and see a new movie. Did you guys get out to see Wonka?
No.
Okay, I wasn't
You
necessarily...
watch that, so I don't have to.
Expecting...
I'll watch it when it's on
Luke
Max.
2. I want to.
It will be, yeah.
I just had stuff every night this week, so I didn't get a chance.
I got a new game, so I was more dedicated to playing that.
Fair enough. So I'll review Wonka real quick, and then we can move on to some of the news stories.
Do we want to do trailers first? I mean, that's on the order of show.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yes, let's do trailers.
He just wanted to talk about Wonka because he's the only one who
It must have been really good.
Yeah.
Go on. What do we got?
Itching to talk about
we
chocolate musical movie.
We riffed for 5 minutes, and I'm not used to riffing for 5 minutes.
Were you getting stressed out?
No, it's just the chaos of it all.
Just can't handle the rabbit trails.
They can't handle it.
Can't handle it.
What a week.
Tyler, I know you were watching some trailers the last minute before we started the show.
Yeah, so I will just kind of go in the order I watched them. So the first one I watched was The Kitchen. This is Daniel Kaluuya's directorial debut over at Netflix, coming out in January 19th. It looks interesting. I don't know if it looks good. but I mean,
Does it take place in Hell's Kitchen?
no, it's in London.
Oh, thank goodness.
It gives me a little bit of
Is it a sequel to The Menu?
no. It gives me a little bit of like Biker Boys vibes. You guys ever watch Biker Boys?
I never did. No.
It's a movie about black culture, and it's about this area in London called the Kitchen. It looks like it's somewhat futuristic, kind of about this kid who's dad wasn't around, and this guy takes him under his wing, shows him the kitchen, obviously introduces him to a life that probably isn't good for him, just to kind of teach him. And I don't know. I don't know enough about kind of the backstory for this movie to really intelligently provide a synopsis for it, but I think it looks interesting. It's definitely got some future kind of things going on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'll check this out at some point, I think.
I saw it on Twitter, but I didn't watch it.
Yeah, I think I'm more interested in it being Kaluuya's directorial debut than I am what the movie is, and I just don't think that's not always a good thing.
So, when the trailer doesn't hook you, and you're like, well, but like I like Kaluuya as like an actor.
Yeah,
right?
I do think there is a nice little emotional hook in the trailer. Like I do think it gives you a character to care about, and it's introducing a young kid actor who, and the trailer is really good, and so like. There's definitely pieces to the recipe that I think it could be a good movie, but it's a January movie. Never have a ton of faith in those. And it's on Netflix.
Yep.
It's a directorial debut. It's just, I don't know. It'll be interesting. For sure.
For sure. All right, what's next?
Then I watched Civil War.
Captain America 3?
No. The Alex Garland A24 movie.
Somebody had to make that joke.
This looks a lot better than that.
Is this the
what? I mean,
biggest?
I don't know about
probably
that.
Biggest budget A24.
What is the budget? Do you know?
For now.
I don't. Yeah, for now.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There will be something bigger budget than this, but this is the least A24 feeling trailer they've ever put out. That's not necessarily a bad thing.
Just wait till the president is possessed by a demon at the end.
We've known that
That's true. Yeah, if it looks normal,
they've really been pushing for, I think bigger money makers. They've talked about wanting to invest in IP and franchise.
Yeah.
And not that this is that, but this does feel, more Hollywood than indie. I think.
I think it looks really good though.
Yeah, I
awesome.
really enjoy the trailer.
Good cast.
Yeah, killer cast.
Mm-hmm.
Garland is relatively good.
Yeah,
he wrote Dredd. So
I
know he can write a good action movie at least.
Yeah.
Wait, was it him? He wrote Dredd, right? Dredd writer. Alex Garland. Okay.
Nailed it.
Can't confirm. Thanks, Google.
Perfect.
Yeah, looking forward to this one too. And then the other trailer I watched was If.
Oh yes, the Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Directed by John Krasinski.
Written and directed by John Krasinski. Yeah.
And directed.
Yeah, with like a crazy cast of people voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds starring. It's basically a movie that John Krasinski's making with his friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't think this looked good. I thought this was super disappointing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like when I saw you had it written and directed by Krasinski, I was like, "Ooh, what is this?" And then the trailer started, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I probably won't watch this." I don't think it looks particularly bad. I just don't think it's something I want to watch.
It's one to me that kind of screams like I want to make something that my kids can watch.
That's exactly what I think it is.
And I don't have a problem with it. I think I've been pretty vocal about being a little bit tired of Reynolds.
I think we all have.
So like
at a certain point, yeah.
So that like that's not a hook for me.
Yeah.
It's maybe more of a detriment than anything else, and that may be unfair to the movie, but I'm mildly interested. I have a kid who's of movie watching age. So
is that who's upstairs stomping?
Yeah, making all the noise. She's usually in bed by now. What's going on up there?
It's almost like you just got here.
It's almost like we all just walked in the house. at 8 o'clock.
Maybe she's simulating WWE wrestling moves.
She's just doing off the top rope.
Watch out, watch out, watch out!
Owlbear from the top rope.
Woo woo! Randy Orton! Out of nowhere! RKO!
I think that's all the trailers I watched. I might have missed one.
Luke, did you have any?
I've got a couple more.
Sweet.
There was a Kung Fu Panda 4 trailer.
That's right. It was in front of Wonka.
Yep.
I wouldn't have seen it if it wasn't in front of Wonka.
I don't know about this. I really do like the Kung Fu Panda movies. I don't know. This felt a little off to me.
For me, I like the idea of like the chameleon.
Cool villain.
What I don't like
They always
is
nail villains, though.
yeah. What I was less impressed with was,
the new side character for one. I thought was.
Well, it's definitely voiced by Awkwafina, right? So.
Oh, that's who that was.
I think so.
Oh my gosh, that makes.
I assumed Luke wouldn't like it just because of that.
Well, that
Get
means
the comedian. Comedians are funny. Get the comedian.
But
do the job.
For me, it kind of, the trailer felt very nostalgia bait because of what the chameleon does, which is steal these other villains' powers, right? And so oh look, it's
Tai Lung.
Yeah, it's Tai Lung, and So I was not that impressed by the trailer. I actually still have a lot of faith in the film.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Another one that I have is Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F.
I didn't watch this one, but I saw that it was out.
I think it looks okay. I really like the bit. It's a little stinger at the end where it's Eddie Murphy and the other two guys from the originals in the car. Mm-hmm. And I thought they were really funny together, and it kind of reminded me of the old movies.
Yeah.
The rest, I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be cool action movie. I did see somebody on Twitter and they're like, why does every Netflix movie look exactly the same? And they're not story wise, visually, they look exactly the same filter, same lenses, same
like shot,
yeah. And I was like, wow, they've got a point.
The studio really only has a certain set of equipment. It's like everybody has to use this.
It's so weird because you're right. Different directors and cinematographers, and there's all these different creative teams that work on these films, but
they all have Netflix Instagram.
There's a weird default filter that they put on top of everything before it goes out.
It's funny because Leave the World Behind just came out.
Yeah.
And now that you say that, I think about it. I'm like, it looks just like Bird Box.
Yeah.
It looks the same. That's weird.
Although now they have Rebel Moon coming out in 3 days. That will not look like the normal.
No, that's true.
Movies. Might not be good though, is the problem.
Well, the reviews are great for that, right?
Reviews definitely have something to say about that movie.
Dude, I just love the discourse around that movie already.
I'm excited for Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop. Wow. I think it'll be a lot of fun, and I'll never say no to an Eddie Murphy movie. Okay, we'll talk about. Are we going to talk about those reviews later?
Sure.
Yeah.
Or we could just do it now. We could say the reviews for Rebel Moon is a trailer.
This is a great review here. Never before on Planet Cinema has so much slow-mo been wasted on so many characters for whom we care so little.
There are so many user reviews for that movie, and they're not even trying to hide that they haven't seen it, and it's both ways.
Oh,
and it's honestly so annoying. Even Paul Tassi made a fake review, and he's like, I'm going to do a test. I haven't seen this. I'm unverified with this review. Let's see if it lasts on here. And I haven't seen him say it's been taken down yet. But user reviews for this movie don't matter. People already have made up their mind.
Yep.
The critic reviews don't matter because no matter what comes out of it, the people who are excited for the movie already have their response. It's either critics hate Zack Snyder or it's Zack Snyder's genius. The second one will apply to both. But and it's such a mess
Yeah.
There's so much. Sorry, my S's are super whistly tonight.
Yeah.
There's so much goalpost moving with this movie.
Yeah.
And just Zack Snyder in general among everybody, and it's so annoying.
He's already talking director's cuts and all kinds of stuff, man. It's just mind-boggling.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah. His comments on, like the comment that stood out to me on the director cut stuff, which was that like, it really dives deeper into what it means.
It's more violent and more sexual.
More violent, more sexual. But I think he was talking about like,
whoa.
That's the only thing that makes a movie good.
It being a commentary on sci-fi. I'm like, I just feel like that should be embedded into the DNA of your film. Like an extra hour of screen time should not completely change the commentary of your film.
I feel like director's cut should be like what Zack Snyder's Justice League was, where it's like, this is the director's.
Well, and that was that was unique in that it was so different from the theatrical.
But even like Blade Runner or Kingdom of Heaven, it's like, they messed stuff up. Here's what I actually wanted to put out. And then you have like extended versions, like Lord of the Rings is a bad example because you can't put a 7-hour movie in theater, however long it is. But like just adding more context to things, like honestly, it could be like lore or things that don't need to be there.
Yeah.
But it's really cool that it's there.
Yeah.
And I feel like his director's cuts now have become marketing.
Oh, yeah. No, the director cut is the version of the movie that he cares about.
The problem is that's not the movie that's reviewed.
Right.
Why not? Like, if that one is so much better, so much deeper, really digs into the grit of what sci-fi is, why not make that movie? That's the whole point. You are at Netflix. Oh my gosh.
That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
It's...
Or maybe Netflix just wants their own Snyder cut.
But I think like what Netflix is smart for doing is getting someone polarizing. People will watch it. Whether they love it or they hate it, people will watch it.
Yeah.
Will I watch it?
Well, over in the chat, Baroque asks if Netflix is giving gobs of money for a movie being made specifically for their platform, why would a director's cut not be the default version?
Exactly.
And it's because we're talking about
and
it. They know we'll talk about it.
They've explicitly stated he has creative control over this.
Yeah.
Over the projects he does with Netflix, they're his.
It would be really cool.
And he still needs a director's cut. It's like, come on, dude.
I think it'd be really cool if they just released the movie in theaters and then on Netflix was a director's cut. Or release the movie on Netflix and on Blu-ray is the director's cut.
Right.
But no, here's both. The one's coming like a month later. It's so weird. There's another S whistle on it.
That's weird there.
To me,
can't do it on it.
To me, what says the most, more than any critic or fan review, is how long was this film in theaters?
It wasn't?
I think they had a limited release fan screenings, like in LA or something.
And
LA, New York.
And then probably
if they believed in this movie, they would have paid marketing. They would have put it in theaters.
They did do it for Knives Out.
A director like Zack Snyder can negotiate that. Mm-hmm. Now maybe they'll do like it's a part 1, part 2 special event in theaters. I don't know, but all of it just
it's marketing.
It just feels like Netflix doesn't believe in their own story, in their own film, and more than anything, that's what gets me less excited. Like,
they're more interested in the name that attaches Netflix than the actual movie it attaches to Netflix.
Exactly. But I digress.
Hey,
we could spend a whole episode talking about that. We could.
Yeah.
What if it's good?
I like Batman v Superman. That's at 27% too. So.
Yep.
Although I don't like that movie as much as I used to. I paid a little too much attention to it.
Hey, don't do that, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you think about it,
Don't try and understand it.
Don't
try and feel it.
Yeah. Is there any other trailers?
There was a Dune trailer.
Yeah, I'm not watching this.
Didn't watch it.
I did see this. It kind of crept up on me, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
Next thing I knew, I was 2 minutes into this trailer. I don't know what happened.
I probably would have watched it if it would have been like in an IMAX. I'd be like, "I'm gonna watch it."
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
No, still looks good. I don't know.
I would expect nothing less.
There was way more Zendaya in this trailer.
Way more Zendaya.
It was like, hey,
this is
she's in this movie. Like she's not in it for 5 minutes like the last movie.
Spoilers, bro.
Oh, my bad, bro. Also, like, what a year for Timothy. If you are smart, you will listen to me. Tim.
Well, since you're singing, why don't you review the musical you watched?
I will review this musical called Wonka. Willy Wonka. My family and Ian, fan of the show who doesn't listen anymore.
Hi, Ian.
Can I say something before you actually review this?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to forget to say it. I just had a little epiphany in my head.
Yeah.
Willy Wonka would fit so perfectly in the Halloween Silver Shamrock universe.
Oh my gosh, yes. That's the movie we need to make.
3 more days till Halloween. And Wonka's like, yeah.
He's like,
do some witchcraft, baby.
My candy's about to sell.
We need to watch that with you, Brett.
Yeah. For reals.
That is true.
It's a ton of fun.
This is true. So this is directed by Paul King, who is most kind of famous for the Paddington movies.
Great movies.
I enjoyed this movie way more than I expected to. I do think that trailers undersell the fact that this is very much a musical.
I did that on purpose.
Right. There's been a whole there's been a bunch of news stories about that. And it's not just Wonka, right? Like it's kind of an industry thing where it's like
Mean Girls. I didn't even know it was a musical.
Yeah.
Color Purple's that way too.
Oh, I knew that one was a musical.
But the marketing for it, yeah.
But the marketing really does downplay it. That said, and as someone who claims to not like musicals that much, but apparently
He's like, I actually like that.
two was it last episode or 2 episodes ago? You guys kind of convinced me that apparently I do like musicals.
Yeah, it was like 2 episodes ago.
Perfect. Yeah, it's really good. I liked it a lot. I think it holds true to who Wonka is as a character, while allowing him to be both a more innocent, like Charlie in the original, and yet hopeful and inventive and fun.
He's not murdering the children.
Exactly. He's not yet murdering the children, but you can kind of, like, it does a good job of not, hey, here's exactly why he is like this later on, right? They leave some room for ambiguity, but he does have very much a childlike innocence when he kind of comes to the Gallery Gourmet after, sailing the seas for 7 years, developing his chocolate. Chocolate cake. Timothée Chalamet absolutely carries this film. Not that anyone's particularly bad. I think most of the acting is actually really good. All of the singing, like the voice, the talent is really good. I think some of the songs are, but for the most part, like I've listened to this version of Pure Imagination multiple times. I think I prefer it to the original.
Ooh.
I know.
Ooh.
Hot take.
Even I think that's heresy. I do not like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Might be because I was a kid when I saw it and it kind of scared me a little bit. And, Roald Dahl sucks. But this song is good. That song is good.
No, it is good. But
Luke
I'm saying
can't deny music. That's one thing he can't deny.
Come with me. I won't sing it. But
yeah, we're going to get copyright. We may get copyright struck for...
Come with me. And
Darn.
see.
Our profits will be cut.
Oh, no.
Shucks.
All those profits we make. Oh,
yeah,
my
man.
God.
If you want to know what life's like, we are like a cockroach in more than one way. Living off scraps, baby.
Or McDonald's.
I will say, I think this movie does a really good job of avoiding some of the classic Roald Dahl
killing kids.
Yeah. Well, like it is a family friendly movie.
Should also be said,
like
this isn't written by Roald Dahl. It's not based off of Roald Dahl.
No, that's
story.
true. This is a Roald Dahl character, right? Who they've kind of invented a new backstory for.
I like it.
But yeah, there was never a moment like I walked into the theater with my 8-year-old being like, is there going to be a hallucinogenic boat ride that will freak her out? And like, no, there's none of that.
Has she seen the original?
No, not yet, but now she wants to.
Oh boy.
You could really freak her out and show her the remake. The Johnny Depp one.
Even I didn't watch that one. No. That one looked weird to me.
Fun fact, for a White Elephant gift exchange this week, I put the full screen DVD version of that in a box. Because I was like, no one's going to miss this. Yeah. So I think it does a really good job of being, incredibly approachable, family friendly. I think the music for the most part is really catchy. Acting is good. Story is, he's just trying to make chocolate, and the chocolate cartel are the bad guy, right? Like, it's super simple.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be complex. It's silly, and it knows it, right?
Are they called the Chocolate Cartel?
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Absolutely.
That's kind of cool.
Absolutely. And Keegan-Michael is the police officer,
yeah.
the kind of the corrupt police officer. Hilarious. Does a great job.
Love that.
Most of his like best lines are in the trailer, but he has a music number with the cartel leaders that's quite enjoyable.
Good thing I only had to see that trailer 190 times before every movie I saw this past 2 years.
It's weird because I definitely don't think that. I think I was pretty meh on the trailers.
I think I was the only one who liked it.
Yeah, and
I'm too biased to like it.
That's
I'm
true.
Too biased against
That's
it.
true. But yeah, I walked away from this movie, kind of humming the songs, and Stephanie was like, I think that's one that we're gonna have to get physically.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
is it a Patter song? Keegan Michael Keys. You watched
a Patter.
Schmigadoon?
No. Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
Did you finish the last season?
Oh, not the newest season.
Oh.
No.
Because Steve Martin is given a Patter song, and it's like a witty, quick rap. You watched it?
I have not watched
it.
Oh
my gosh! It was so good! Man. It's like there's not a lot of vocal range. It's just like I'm kind of talking through the music, and it's pretty quick, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Is that a song, or does he actually sing?
It's definitely more. It feels more like a duet between him and
a chocolate bar
and the the cartel, right? Like it's the three members of the cartel kind of convincing him to become a bad cop.
Oh.
He sings in Schmigadoon too.
And yeah, and he's good. He doesn't have like.
He's not bad.
Nothing. None
it's serviceable.
of what he's doing is like amazing. But it's mostly that. Yeah, it's kind of that back and forth. Here's a thing. Here's a response. Response. And it's good. Oh, Olivia Colman plays the kind of one of the antagonists. Again, a movie about corruption, and she gets to be the
bad guy,
the bad lady with the, kind of crankety old.
She's the curmudgeon.
Yeah. She's the curmudgeon who's trying to, who's taking payments under the table to.
Love that.
Keep Willy Wonka at bay, along with I'm maybe spoiling things, but so there's
just ripping it. Like we know who the dirty cop is.
I don't care.
The movie does zero to try and hide anything. Okay. It lets you know from square one where you're at. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think if you're a fan of musicals, you'll enjoy it. I think if you're a fan of Willy Wonka, you'll enjoy it. So I give it a fanboy worthy.
So it's a 50-50 shot for me.
Yeah, it's like
it is going to be a real, yeah. I don't know how Luke will. I think Tyler will enjoy it quite a bit.
Dana's going to go see it without me because, We've used the grandparents a few too many times recently. So she's going to go see it, and then I'm probably going to have to go see it separately. So
I'm just going to wait for it to be on Max.
It will. I'm sure it will be.
There's just other things I would rather go see.
That's fair.
Over the next couple weeks.
It is going to be a busy couple weeks, won't it? Yeah.
Like Iron Claw,
Aquaman.
There was a new trailer in front of that I hadn't seen.
If The Holders is still out, I want to go see that.
Yeah.
I do need to see.
That one might only be on the east side.
Yeah, I need to see The Holdovers yet, but I don't know if it's still out. Our options are limited. But yeah, I definitely recommend this film, and what a swift and domineering rise for Timothée Chalamet. Like, he's just proven he can do it all.
Yeah, he's everywhere.
And he is.
It's okay. In 3 years, we'll be sick of him.
Oh, maybe.
You're like, oh, wow, another Timothée Chalamet movie. Here we go.
I think he
has more range, though.
When they cast him as Link in The Legend of Zelda, everybody's going to be going, oh, this guy again.
He has the ability. I think he has the ability with where he's at. Like, he's still playing those. He can still play those youthful, boyish characters.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he can do if he's given more. Like, Dune is this weird. It's not quite like an action comic book hero character-esque
not yet
film, right? And maybe part 2 gets there.
Oh, part 2's wild, dog.
But
it's gonna get crazy.
But I can just see him being able to bring a different kind of quality and depth of acting to a role in DC or Marvel or Sony or whatever verse is wanting to pay him too much money.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain point, you just can't turn down money, right?
Right.
Yeah. Well, sweet.
That's what. Ironically,
did you give it a rating?
That's fanboy worthy. Okay. That's ironically, Tyler. That's kind of what Hugh Grant said about his role. Oh yeah, Oompa Loompas are in this. Hugh Grant is the Oompa Loompa. Is the one Oompa Loompa. But he was like, someone was asking him like, was it worth being in the chair for 8 hours? He was like, no.
Yeah, he's like, but he has like a history of everything he works on. He like talks bad about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of his thing.
His thing is, I have an expensive lifestyle and I have to pay for it.
Yeah, he's like, kids are expensive.
Yeah. But I can respect that answer.
Yeah, he doesn't act because he loves to act. He acts because it's his job.
Yeah.
Which is, kind of weird, but whatever. Do your thing, I guess.
If you should start a side hustle.
If you're, one thing I will say about I was 90% of Hugh Grant's scenes are in the trailers. Like, he's not a real
character
part of the movie. Like, he's there for a few things, but like, I don't know. I guess I understand. There was a little bit of backlash before the movie about why you wouldn't cast, someone, a little person, for that role, and why would you cast Hugh Grant? And I guess I still don't have the answer to that, but I think maybe the short answer is like it's really not that important of a role. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
He's in it like twice.
I feel like you could ask the question again then about that.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. No, and I think it's valid.
It's like, oh, it's not a big role. Why do you need Hugh Grant?
Right.
Yeah.
Also, he's not the villain, right?
Some kind of star power.
Hugh Grant only plays villains.
I've spoiled so much of this movie for you already. I'd hate to ruin any more.
Oh man.
I think there's one scene that he is in the movie that's not in the trailer.
Wowzers.
So, and a flashback.
Good use of a Oompa Loompa.
I guess
there.
that's technically a different scene, but yeah.
Oompa Loompa.
I still recommend it.
Do.
It's good. It'll be one that we probably watch around the holidays. It has that sense of
like a Christmas movie feel.
Yeah, hope and yeah.
Awesome. Good stuff.
So.
Good stuff. Should we jump into some news?
Let's talk about some news. Indeed.
We got some news.
Some big news.
We got 2 real sad stories this week.
Yeah.
One that came out today. James McCaffrey, the voice actor of Max Payne and Alex Casey in Alan Wake 2, just came out.
Yeah.
Passed away after a bout with cancer. age 65.
I wasn't aware that the voice actor for, I guess it's the English voice actor.
Yeah.
Was that old?
Yeah, no.
And you don't think about it because Sam Lake is the
body.
The body.
Same with Wake.
I think he's the what language do they? Swedish? Finnish voice actor for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't even think about it. So
yeah, they do that thing where like Alan Wake and Alex Casey are like dubbed over for the so it's you don't think about it, but obviously he's real big for being Max Payne as well. Because Remedy made those games initially. Super sad, man. I will say, like, happy that he got to see his work that he had worked on with Alan Wake 2, because I know they had been working on that game for a very long time. So very happy that at least before he passed away, he was able to see the game get its recognition.
Yeah.
And hopefully, everybody in his family is, they were at peace with this, being that he had a long fight with cancer but sad stuff. And then the other one, Luke, I think you have it over there.
Andre
Braugher,
yeah. He died at the age of 61. I think most people know him as Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
For sure.
Super awesome guy, super funny, great actor. Me and Tyler probably would also recognize him. He was the voice of Darkseid for a bit in the DC animated movies.
Very good at that as well.
Yep. His voice was perfect for it.
So good. So good.
But yeah, super, super sad.
Yeah. Huge bummer. Bad week of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of the news stories this week are not positive news stories.
No, dude, I got a positive news story.
I have...
I got a news story I'm super happy about.
I have one that I'm not, like, super thrilled about, but I am curious about it. Henry Cavill's Warhammer universe officially moving forward. The deal was officially closed today with Amazon to make that happen, so they can now hit pre-production on this thing and start rolling. Not sure what this will be. I think it's going to be animated, live action. It's going to be just a bunch of different things, kind of like what they're doing with the Creed stuff. And he's just a producer and will star in some of it. So do with that what you will. I don't. Warhammer's interesting to me. I think it's got like an interesting depth of lore, but I think it's just so much that I need someone to like spoon feed it to me. We have a Warhammer store here in Wichita, and I went to it and I was like, dude, I want to read a Warhammer book. Please point me in a direction. And he pointed me in a direction when I haven't read it yet, but I'm excited to check it out. He's like, it's easier to read.
Warhammer store?
Yeah, we have a Warhammer store here.
Dedicated Warhammer store? Wow.
I think what's interesting to me because it's
sounds good, doesn't it?
Tyler, like you're talking about, it's more than just a film, right?
Yeah.
Like they're talking kind of Snyder-esque. Let's build this universe.
Correct.
Out. You're still built like someone at Netflix. Maybe not. Maybe not. I feel like an executive is going to have to be
at Amazon.
At Amazon is going to ask the question, how is this relevant to general audiences, right?
Well, if you do that, though, Henry Cavill's going to abandon it.
So that's my thing, right? Like, how niche can this be, but still be worthwhile to them?
Yeah.
Because I think you can get really into the weeds on some of those things. I think animated stuff, it just costs less to make.
Yeah. And
shows, you can dive deep into it. But
you can get weird.
Like what you can get weird. But like what you're talking about with like a film, for those of us who have zero Warhammer knowledge, how do you make a movie that brings us in? I think of like the D&D movie last year.
Yeah.
I guess, gosh, that was just this year. It feels like a year ago. I mean, it was what, February or March?
February, yeah.
I think that did a pretty good job. I know that there was maybe some nitpicking around certain things in there from hardcore D&D players, but for the most part, like being a very new D&D player, understood, enjoyed it. Stephanie, my wife, understood, enjoyed it. I'm not sure that formula is gonna work with Warhammer in terms of you can get away with a lot when you're making a comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not. I just from what I see with Warhammer, I'm not like that will lend itself well to a ensemble comedy movie.
So here's what I think. Here's what I take away from it. They're gonna make a Space Marines something.
Yeah.
They got a Space Marine 2 game coming out next year. It's gonna be popular. It's one of the most popular things within Warhammer. As far as I know, Warhammer crew don't come try to kill me for that. But here's what I will say: if I am Netflix and I have this Gears of War property coming out, I'm gonna watch what these guys do with the Space Marines, see how people respond to it, and then I'll go, okay, we just won't do that, or it'll be okay, we'll do that. Because they're so similar, right? Like, Space Marine 2, the game that's coming out next year, literally just looks like a continuation of Gears. Like,
giant people
with big guns and aliens, right? Like, it's...
Isn't there 2 Warhammer things?
So there's Warhammer, and then there's Warhammer 40K.
So Warhammer is like the fantasy...
Correct.
Okay.
And Henry Cavill is very public about his love for 40K. So
okay.
I will assume this will be the sci-fi
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are those connected?
Yeah. They are, actually.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting... I got the whole rundown when I went to the Warhammer store. The dude was super nice. I believe his name is Chris. Chris, if you ever stumble across this show, I believe that was your name. You're a great dude, and I really appreciate your help when I went in there. But, yeah, it's just a lot, man. There's just so much to it, and you're right. How do they make this appeal to the general audience? And that will be the challenge for everybody.
Yeah.
But then it goes back to the Cavill thing. Like, we saw it with The Witcher. Superman. He didn't agree with what they wanted to do. He left.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Be interesting. It will be interesting. That's all the news stories I have written down, because I know there's one that Luke's super excited about. Which I'm also excited about, I should add, but not quite as excited as Luke.
Well, why don't I just get into it?
Do it.
A24 is partnering with Kojima Productions to make a Death Stranding live action adaptations.
This is so sick.
A perfect pairing.
Oh, yeah.
And they were just talking about, I think, in October, when all the Halloween stuff was up for sale, they're like, we want to get some IPs. Like, we need some IPs to make some money so we can make these other films.
Yeah.
In comes Kojima.
He's like,
not the IP I would have predicted, seeing as it's not a...
Dude, I want the shirt.
It's not a film IP already.
I do too.
But what a great combo.
Yeah.
Such a perfect pairing.
That's a fantastic pairing.
I think that's what I said when you sent it. You were like, I'm going to wait for a real news outlet. And I was like, honestly, it just makes too much sense to not be true. Like,
dude, my finger was on the refresh button.
You're just looking for anything?
Yeah, I saw some jabroni just tweet it, and I was like,
oh, refresh, there it is, bro.
Refresh.
Oh, there's a wait list for it. But...
Dude, yeah, I'd love one of those shirts. I'm not
Everything's sold out.
I'm not the biggest A24 watcher. I probably see like 1 out of 4 of their movies.
So you probably see half of what we watch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, half of them are horror, and I don't really see horror.
That's fair.
But
this is dope.
I just know their reputation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I want to know who they get to write and direct it into an adaptation. How much does it fill out? What is the craziness of the Death Stranding game?
I played a little bit of it this weekend. I was going to talk to you about it. I didn't play a ton, but I just walked around.
I know everybody's kind of memeing on it, but who do you cast?
Yeah.
Do they pay those actors? Or do they get different people and it's just something in the Death Stranding universe? Like, here's Joe Bob and Jane Bob, husband and wife porters in Kentucky. I don't know. Like,
right. Yeah.
Or what was kind of
Did they make... Well, and like, knowing Kojima and his enjoyment of just media as a whole, maybe he wants this to be like, hey, we have Death Stranding 1 and Death Stranding 2 that follows this story. This movie will be set in the universe. It's something totally different.
Or like maybe
but it is...
Maybe it's in Europe.
Yeah.
Because the game is only in the United States.
Right.
Or maybe that's what Death Stranding 2 is. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
But, dude, I'm so excited. One of the absolute craziest games and universes out there. Like,
I'd be curious to hear Luke.
I wish Brett liked the game, because I think, while it's not great narratively, there is a really interesting story there. It's just
I'll hop back in and play a little more of it.
it's like a 50-hour game.
Yeah, it's big.
I know. I need little bites.
Yeah,
and it's a hard game to get back into.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Because I even stopped
believe
for a bit and I got into it and I was like, I don't remember how to drive. I don't remember how to shoot. I don't remember how to build stuff.
I don't remember where I need to go, how the interface works.
And then,
yeah,
dude, the interface is there's so much going on. In
yeah,
it. But and then you get stuck just building roads for 4 weeks. It's just like, I want to drive across the United States with a bunch of ghosts, octopus things, beach things.
Trying to kill me.
Oh, a giant ink whale. Ah! This is a weird tangent. I've been thinking about my favorite games recently.
Mm-hmm.
And what do I always say when I say The Last of Us is my favorite game?
I don't know how, but
I'm going to see if you can remember. It's what I always say. Say it's the best written game I've ever played. I think Death Stranding might be my favorite game, though.
Yeah.
I don't want to, get ahead of myself.
But it's just one that
this
sat
guy.
with you.
Because, The Last of Us is incredibly written. It has great characters. But as far as its, gameplay, and even its story is pretty basic, but I think that's also what makes it so good. Then on the opposite side of the spectrum, I have Death Stranding, which is just, the opposite in every way.
Yeah, it's
I just...
A and Z, right?
I almost started playing again this weekend, too, but I got Armored Core instead and have been diving into that.
Oh my gosh, the Horus Heresy? Sorry.
Horse?
Horus. It's a Warhammer thing.
Baroque's over here throwing down Warhammer
Baroque
knowledge.
has a knowledge of almost every nerd thing ever. It's super impressive, honestly. Luke, I wanted to ask you before we move on from the Death Stranding story. Is there a director you think...
I wanted to ask the same thing.
Yeah,
Fancast the director.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Is there or maybe not even Fancast, but what kind of director do you think would be a good pick for this? One, we talked about Civil War earlier, but Alex Garland does weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Would he be good? And he's known to work with A24.
And he's not afraid of doing IP. He
No.
wrote Dread.
And he's not afraid of getting weird, because we watched Men, and
Men.
that movie is super odd.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
He's not afraid to get weird, and so, would he be a good pick for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be... You would have to find somebody with kind of an independent mind, because, it's A24.
Yeah.
Yep.
But also understands blockbuster spectacle.
A guy like Gareth Edwards.
Interesting.
Honestly,
I think scale
that's actually pretty good.
Yeah?
Scale wise, he does so good with scale.
He does.
I think the other problem too is this is all budget pending. How big is this? How big do you go?
Yeah.
How big of a director?
Well, I think with this game,
or do you once Talk to Me 2 comes out, do you get
somebody
the
those
A24 guys right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. That's a good.
I think fan casting for directors is super hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I wouldn't do this. I don't think it's a good idea. But one option is Kojima. He said he wants to direct movies. I don't know if going that big in a movie straight up with a IP straight up,
even when it's
that
yours.
has a fan base, and it'd probably be fine since it's it's his.
They would co-direct him if he did it, though.
Yeah.
I feel
I still think I would keep him just as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, if you
I think
honestly collaborating with Peele.
If you had
to try to get a feel for how film works.
Jordan Peele actually
Jordan Peele wouldn't be bad.
Wouldn't be bad.
He's friends with him too.
Yeah.
Now apparently, but also I think
Maybe
Kojima's breaking more into movie making. I think that's kind of gonna be what OD is.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel more like a movie game.
They put a press release out on that.
Oh, did they?
The OD is talking about how much fear you can handle before you overdose on fear. So that game's gonna be terrifying.
My theory on OD is it's PT.
That's what a lot of people are thinking.
I think it's just going to be an updated PT. It's 2 letters. I guess it's the same door.
Yeah, it was the same door.
Look,
It was like, okay. Yeah.
if it would
There's
get,
a bunch
if
of
it
other
would
stuff
get
too,
people, to shut up about PT.
Yeah, right.
Not that that's like annoying.
I watched that video and I pooped myself.
Yeah, we watched it in here one night. Didn't
Oh
we?
my gosh, dude. That was so bad. I lasted like 5 seconds into that video before I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I'm weak.
Yeah,
So
I
good.
think Garland or Edwards would probably be 2 good directors. Keep an eye on for it.
And I honestly feel like it could just be
But you're
some
right.
dude
It could just be anybody.
or some girl. Like,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, here's
Weird pick. Guillermo del Toro.
Not that weird of a pick.
I mean,
He understands.
He's in the game.
He understands the world though,
yeah,
right?
he's
Like,
but yeah, you're right. He
is.
is.
He's in
like,
the game.
for a lot. Too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Dead man, baby. Yeah.
And he's worked with some pretty, I think of his the show he produced, the Cabinet of Horrors,
Cabinet of Curiosities.
Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yeah.
And so like he even has like a repertoire of directors now that he, maybe he doesn't direct it, maybe he executive produces,
And
but
gets one of those
brings in
people,
one of those people to maybe co-direct it with Kojima. I don't know.
Yeah, Kojima clearly has connections in Hollywood based on what he said at the Game Awards. I would not be shocked if whoever's working with OD on him is probably someone that might get picked for it.
For me, what will be curious is his stuff takes its time, right? This is not something where I'm expecting like, okay, we've got an announcement that they're partnering, and next quarter we are getting a director, and here's who's pinning the script. I think that while A24 will want to move it along, right? Like you don't announce this and are like, okay, we're just not going to do anything for 5 years. That may be a more interesting behind the scenes look at, okay, here's how Hollywood, even A24, A24 has a small studio in the Hollywood system. Here's how they move. And Kojima is super used to having 100%. I mean, he hasn't always had 100% control, but like that relationship, he's gonna have. I think he's gonna not that it'll be a struggle because he's done it before in games, but it'll be exciting for people. People want to talk about it. People want to start working on it, and if he's, 5 foot deep in OD,
Yeah.
How much time is he gonna? I mean, that's the balance, right?
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too is if it's just like based on Death Stranding 1, like they're probably gonna hire a scriptwriter and they're gonna write it, and he can be like, no, don't do that.
Right.
This.
Right.
Yeah, he can just be like, these are the big points I wanted to hit on. Hit those.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's
fast
two.
track it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, is it the whole game? Do they go to a certain point in the game?
So here's what I would say to that. Probably not. I think because
A trilogy.
I mean, even the novelization of the game, like I've never seen a video game novelized outside of Alan Wake, which is a thing because of what Alan Wake is. But there's a novelization of the Death Stranding game, Death Stranding 1, and it's multiple books. It's not even done yet. Like they've done, I think, 2 or 3 of them.
Wow.
So like even the novelization isn't one book.
Where does the first book end? Do you know?
I don't know. I have it on my Amazon wish list because I hope somebody will buy it for me at some point. But, yeah.
Dude,
It's such a cool.
It's time to go to the beach, baby. Let's go.
It's such a good pairing, and I'm very excited to see what this looks like when it comes out. When we get our first look, But I like the question of do they cast the same cast?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows, man?
I might have to work my predictions into a A24 Death Stranding prediction. I've got a little space.
Got room for another one?
We've got 2
Oh,
spots left. These are my backups, though.
I like it.
Dude, I've got some bangers. I'm telling you right now.
Nice.
Since I had a
10
year like
maybe.
this year, I'm gonna have to go a little crazy next year.
I'm getting 10 out of 10 right this year. I already know.
I go crazy every year. It's not fun if you play it safe.
Crazy.
So in another IP, I was trying to do a clever segue and I failed. Screw it.
You suck at this.
DC's been in the news a lot this week.
Sure has.
James Gunn commenting very publicly on some casting rumors,
Yeah.
which he does not usually do. Although he's been much more open.
Yeah,
with Superman.
He'll confirm them.
Yeah.
Or deny them.
But this was like.
But this was like
deny.
a full like.
This was like I don't even know where this came from.
Is this the Palm Clemente?
Yeah.
He shot that down hard.
I guess Palm sent it to him and was like, what?
What did I get casted in?
I don't remember this meeting.
In addition to some of those rumors and things, he's talked about how meaningless cameos are like one of the worst things in current superhero films. Let's hope your executive friends agree with you. Right.
Well, he is the executive friend.
There's 15 executive friends around that board table. Where do you think all the money goes?
Into the laundromat.
Not to paying for the film.
I do like what he's saying there, though.
Yeah.
Like, because people give him crap about adding all these different actors and his friends, and he's just like, well, look, man, like, if it serves the story, and it's part of the story, then it's going to be there. If it's not, it won't be there.
Yeah. And,
like, I think, I like his transparency with all of this. I think DC needs it.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing a good job. There's some other stuff he said, too, about storyboarding. Did you see all of that?
Yeah,
I thought that was cool. He's like, the whole movie's storyboarded. I have it, the whole movie drawn. But then he, like, posted the one screenshot of, like, it was like, trying to explain a shot to somebody or whatever.
Character moving towards camera, but camera is moving away as well. And here's what these arrows mean, and here's my horribly
drawn Superman.
But, like, that's how it starts, right?
I just think it's cool, too, like, he answered another question. A fan asked him, like, what are some screenwriting books you read or things like that? And he's like, I read all these different books. He's like, but honestly, I just kind of do my own thing.
Yeah.
He's like, there's no right way to pin a script. You just do it, right? And, like, I just think it's cool. That level of transparency at that level is just so awesome to see. Yeah. And I've really enjoyed it. He's a great follow on Threads. That's where he's he's most active over there right now.
Kind of DC adjacent, or maybe not adjacent. It is in the DC. Both Zachary Levi and Jason Momoa have been talking about their roles.
Yeah. Dude, Jason Momoa's comment was so funny. What do you think about keep playing Aquaman? He's like, not looking too good. He knows. Yeah. They all know. It's like, nobody cares about this now, but we got to put the movie out.
Right.
I guess, I don't know, maybe Warner Bros. Would be like, nah, just give us $20 million to burn it.
And then you got Zachary Levi, who just went full on scorched earth in his interview. Jeez. I guess if you're, what did he say? Like, he puts all his...
If your brother's the director...
Yeah, that's right.
Get cast in
anything.
At the same time...
You know what my response to that would be? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. He's my brother. If I was a famous movie director, I'd go, hey, Logan, do you want to do this fun thing in this movie?
Also, Sean Gunn is a great actor.
Yeah, he's like evolved over time. Yeah, for sure.
He's not just, I don't know, someone you...
It started as like little bit
pieces. He's not Rob Schneider, right? Like, who just was thrown in every Adam Sandler movie.
Yep.
He was nothing... Sorry. I didn't think he was anything special.
Sorry, Rob. Sean Gunn started with small bits. Small bits. And he's worked to this point now, right? And he's done a good job.
I think it's also, like, in the Suicide Squad, he had 2 roles. He played Calendar Man real quick to make a fun joke.
Yeah.
And then he was a CGI character that didn't speak.
Yeah.
In Weasel. He's in Creature Commandos, which is just probably going to be a voice acting. You probably won't even recognize his voice. Role. It's almost like Alan Tudyk, who's also in it.
I think he's way more like Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Who's like, here's someone who puts in the work. He puts in half of the work. He puts in way more work for Rocket Raccoon than Bradley Cooper does. Bradley Cooper is like on record being like, I come in for 2 days and record all my lines, and that's all I do. Right? Yeah. That's why he's never...
Sean Gunn's waddling around on set.
Sean Gunn does like all of the motion capture for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And not that, Bradley Cooper doesn't deserve his paycheck out of that, right? But like...
He's getting paid way more than Sean Gunn is, yeah.
Absolutely. Like I think Sean and so many more stunt and, 3D motion capture performers
motion capture artists,
probably deserve more credit than they get.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
So,
there's the big one.
The big one, the elephant in the room.
I can do another thing before the big one. Naughty Dog canceled The Last of Us Online.
That's right. That did happen this week.
That had been rumored forever.
Yeah, it's officially dead, and I'm actually glad. I know some people are like, "What the heck? Like, why'd you do this? We were excited." It's like they're moving on to the next.
Because it was going to take a ton of resources away from their next game.
Yeah.
Their next single player game, and that's not what they're known for. It's not that a studio can't try something new and do something new. At the same time, they have a reputation.
Yeah.
And they want to A, uphold it, and B, not be stuck doing a live service game for 10 years.
Right. Yeah. And that being said, they've done multiplayer in their games. Uncharted and The Last of Us both had multiplayer.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what I'm most bummed about is I had heard how good Factions was. And so I really wanted a chance to try out something of the sort. But
more interested in just seeing what it was going to be.
Yeah, because they never really showed anything other than
some
concept art.
We need some leaks.
Oh, there's a lot of leaks today on Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Watch out, I guess, if you're wanting to know that.
I ain't gonna be there.
Fun fact, you do kill the Justice League.
Bro, what? No.
If you didn't expect that to be the case.
In an M-rated game?
Yeah.
Titled Kill the Justice League, you're actually gonna kill?
Yeah.
I read the leaks like a year ago.
I was gonna say, wasn't there leaks forever ago? Yeah.
And that game was already so far along. They had already put out deep dive videos and stuff before it got the huge delay. And I was like, this game looks horrible. I'm gonna go read the leaks. And I do not think it's a good story, personally. I don't think it's good to put a story like this in a established universe.
Correct.
That feels like an Elseworld story. Correct. I think it should have either been an Elseworld, a totally separate thing.
Kind of like what Gotham Knights did. It's like its own thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Or tell a different story. And don't make it live service.
Well, and I saw a thing today, too. Somebody was like, it's really unfortunate we had to do a story of fighting, the Justice League, when if you really wanted to continue the Arkhamverse stuff, you could have done Superman against the Justice League because Brainiac's mind controlling them. And you don't have to kill them. It's like you could have continued what everybody wanted anyways, was a Superman game from Rocksteady.
Yep.
And instead, this is what they did.
Yep. Somebody said, make it live service. And the only way to do live service really is make it a shooter.
Yep.
And it's just so weird that it's
a shooter. Yeah.
It's a shooter. It's like I'm playing as King Shark. I don't want to shoot a gun.
Yeah.
I either want to swim or
shoot a trident.
I did watch one of their developer diaries that they put out a few weeks back because I was like, I'm so curious, what this looks like, and I watched it and I was like, this doesn't move the needle for me at all.
I really hope Rocksteady has the numbers and they are prepared for that game to not do well.
Yeah.
I hope they're not sitting in the meetings going, guys, we're only 2 months away from launch. You guys ready? I really hope they're in their office going, guys, this
is Rocksteady.
This is gonna be interesting.
How long until this hits Game Pass? 3 months after it releases?
Day one.
Oh, that honestly, it's not too late to make that deal happen. Remember? Who was it? Rainbow Six Extraction did it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a cooperative, team-based shooter kind of thing. We've seen it happen before.
I think
does Rocksteady have a publisher? Are they 2K?
WB Games.
WB.
Yeah.
And they were just under the threat of being sold, weren't they?
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be a normal release, and then after a month or two, it will get a PlayStation Premium Plus download deal thing.
For free.
They have a lot better relationship with PlayStation, I think. At least
I'll play it if it hits.
Pass games,
I'll play it if it goes to Game Pass or PS Plus. I'll check it out for sure.
I don't want to support it.
It's 3 players. It'd be perfect for us.
Oh, okay, fine.
If it's free, you're not
but then they can be like, look how good we did on Game Pass. Let's make more. It's like I just don't want Game Pass to have live service.
We just don't spend any actual money on it. It'd be fine. Don't buy the battle pass or whatever it is.
Oh, I'm not.
Don't buy any skins.
Pass. Only battle pass I buy is Destiny's
D2
because it comes with the season. I have to buy it.
You buy the deluxe edition.
Yeah, I buy everything.
You spend $100 a year on that game minimum,
and it's extremely worth it. Honestly, it's crazy. Like this isn't talked about much, but the amount of stuff they give you is insane, and it is insane too how many microtransactions are still in that game.
Yeah.
Like new exotic quest tomorrow, baby. Let's go.
Ooh.
Exotic strand bow.
Very neat. Well, the big elephant in the room here yet that we haven't talked about is that Jonathan Majors was found guilty of... Hold on, I want to make sure I get this right.
Third degree
harassment and reckless assault.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Reckless assault in the third degree and harassment.
Yep.
And Marvel said, okay, bye. Which is no surprise to any of us, I don't think.
Ezra Miller's probably like, what did you do?
Yeah, he probably should have contacted Ezra Miller about what his defense team was.
I feel like
you're a lawyer.
Yeah.
It is interesting, the difference there. Like, one of those movies got a ton of support from the studio.
Yeah.
Now that stuff was all shot already, right? This is...
Yeah, the movie was done.
Right. We don't have a Kang Dynasty in the can, and
yeah.
we were just waiting on it to be released. I think they're far enough out on all that stuff that it was a much easier decision.
Yeah, and I guess, too, like, after the news of Majors being fired today, like, internal teams are referring to Avengers as Avengers 5 now. It's no longer Kang Dynasty.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they pivot. From what I've heard, and I've not watched Loki Season 2, but apparently they left that character in a place where they could move on from it. Again, haven't watched it, don't know for sure, but you're nodding, so I assume that's probably true.
Yeah, he is... and that's the thing with variants, right? Mm-hmm. Like...
They keep killing him off?
They kind of keep... Yeah.
Well, they killed off the main Kang in Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Movie's terrible, so...
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely think Quantum Mania leaves the future of Kang teaser, right? Like with at the end where there's thousands of Kangs in the stadium. I know we've all forgotten about it already.
Well, we've seen Marvel move on from those post-credit scenes before.
Exactly. So I do think that I think his performance was actually pretty good in Loki. But two, I do think they have an easy way out.
Yeah.
There, nothing in Loki is like screaming. This is why he is the new major villain, or super unreplaceable important.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Do they recast Kang? Do they go a different direction with Doom, as everybody kind of I think thinks they will? Which, you know. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it's probably a pretty real possibility for them at this point.
Yeah.
If they just go, just replace him with Doom. Like, let's just switch to Doom. No. That is just so disrespectful to, like, a top 2 villain in Marvel. That has never been done right, may I add. Like, it's been messed up 3 times.
Well, you know, based on who they cast, that if it's a big star, he won't wear the mask all the time.
Yeah. Well, you know my fan casting of that.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. Physical role and a voice role.
Wait, it's not just Tom Hardy, right?
Oh my gosh. No, it's gonna be Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, of course.
Tom Hardy in a mask. Love that.
It's on brand.
This is what I would do if I was Marvel. And here, I'm just going to Google upcoming Marvel films. And I'm not counting Deadpool. That is coming out in like 5 weeks.
Is it really?
Or 5 months, sorry.
I was like, what?
Comes out in May, I think. Is Captain America done? Did they film it?
I think they're like reshooting
They
a
reshot
huge portion of that movie.
A large bit of it. But I think the reshoots are done.
Maybe.
So we got Deadpool, Captain America. These aren't in order, so this is.
It's fine.
The 2 Avengers movies, Thunderbolts, Blade. Is that supposed to be El Muerto? That's canceled.
Thunderbolts is...
You think it's dead? I think they should... Oh, there's Shang-Chi 2. We know that.
Yeah.
It's not on this list, but... I think they should just cancel everything and go into the next Avengers movie. Make it a transition movie. A big, giant transition movie. And then, boom. Phase 6. It's X-Men now. That's it. That's it.
I would be
just pivot to the X-Men.
Just
entirely.
pivot.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, I think
Nobody likes Phase 5.
Luke, hot take from me here. I agree with you in that I think that this is an opportunity for them to just start doing solo movies. Just
reset.
Just kill the MCU.
Yeah.
Right.
Start.
I don't think you even need an Avengers 5. I think you can just Deadpool.
Deadpool kills the MCU.
Deadpool kills the
done.
MCU.
Move on.
Well,
But
I mean,
but then
that's
have
what it's
have your X-Men franchise, have your Fantastic Four, like focus on telling those stories
I think
themselves.
Fantastic Four
if
should
you-
be the first of Phase 6.
If you want to merge them together later, like you did with MCU Phase 1, 2, like you can do that, but don't build it into the formula. Let those stories be their stories.
I say, yeah, do the next event. I think you would do the next Avengers because you would need something.
I think, I think with New World Order being done, right? Like, I think that's and they've teased it, and I don't know how much Thunderbolts will tie into Young Avengers, but Young Avengers is a thing that's at least being planned. It may be far enough out that it gets scrapped.
And I don't even think that's a bad idea. I think that'd be super interesting, but just cancel it. Like...
Just start fresh.
Cancel the Young Avengers. Cancel Thunderbolts.
See, I just at this
cancel
point
Avengers: The Kang Dynasty and just go into Secret Wars, whatever the heck that is supposed to be.
Oh yeah, I guess you could do that. I just was curious what story do I want to see in Avengers 5 for at this point? Like nothing that they've set up in Phase 4 is coming to fruition. Right? Like...
Well, it's because it's aimless.
But, like...
And especially not now.
Yeah, I just don't... Especially not now. That's so true.
And if you don't want to do an Avengers, just let's cancel everything and start with Fantastic Four. It's the first family of Marvel. It's a great jumping off point.
I agree. Do that. You can buy yourself a couple more years to get X-Men under...
I think the biggest thing, too, could just be like, hey, we're taking a break. People be like, oh, I don't know what to do with my life.
You'll see a lot of people not go to the movies for a few years.
Or they'll discover other movies and be like, wow.
If they can get...
Alita sequel was really cool.
We do need Alita. Battle Angel 2.
That Death Stranding movie was awesome. That's based on a game?
So, I think... looking at this from a business perspective, right? Because this is Disney, and they have
money out their butt,
stockholders to appease.
Oh yeah, that
right.
Same thing.
So
similar.
I think what you can do if you only have one MCU movie coming out this year. You've got 2 or 3 scheduled for 2025. I think 2. Maybe.
Yes.
I don't know where the next Avengers movie falls, if that's 25 or 26. In any case, finish out what you've got in 24 and 25. It's 3 or 4 films. Fingers crossed, by that time, maybe winter of 25, you've got your next Star Wars coming out. And 26 is the next Avengers. Okay, so what you can do is you can say, hey, look, we took a break with Star Wars. We feel confident that we're heading in the right direction. We're building all this hype up. We're going to take a break with Marvel, with MCU. We're going to start doing a thing where it's Star Wars, Avatar, MCU, Disney Pixar, right?
Well,
like
Avatar 3 will also fund their movies for the next 7 years.
Absolutely. So. Absolutely. But like I just think there's a business rationale there if taking a break on Star Wars actually works.
I mean, and they got Toy Story 5 too.
Well, yeah, and it's not like where they're gonna just at Disney is gonna just release one movie a year anyways. But I just think you take a breather. It's okay.
Dude, what if they're just like, you know what, screw this Marvel crap. We're just gonna make a Toy Story cinematic universe, and they give the Bo Peep spin-off and the Slinky spin-off and the Rex spin-off. Then they all come together to save the penguin squeaky toy again or something. Squeaker, is that his name?
I think what this would also allow, it would allow
then they team up with the Incredibles, the Pixar's cinematic universe.
It would, I think, and I don't know how much they want this, because part of it's good for business, right? There's a reason why you open up a restaurant right next to another restaurant. It's because someone's already looking for food. Maybe they'll choose your restaurant. But if you take a break and you don't have to go up against DC for a couple years, that could be good for DC, but it also could be good for Marvel.
I think there will be a lot of carryover to DC with James Gunn coming over too. So like, I think it'll buy them some time.
Yeah,
as well.
Rising water raises all ships.
A rising tide raises all ships. Yeah.
Man, that same thing. Yeah.
Different
translation
is water. So yeah, at the end of the day, someone did something really crappy, and it's gonna affect a lot of fees. But hopefully there's some justice there, and hopefully the business can, learn from it as well. I don't know.
Or they just
I'm trying to find a silver lining here.
Or they just cast John Boyega.
I've seen that idea too.
And nothing changes.
Yeah.
That is also another possibility. Or Lakeith Stanfield.
Dude.
There's two great choices for you.
I'm fine.
Doing your job for you.
John David Washington?
There's three great choices for you. This is too easy.
And variants are easy to describe the different look.
Oh, yeah.
It's built in.
They'll just do a horrible CGI redo of like Ant-Man and the Wasp. That final scene, they'll just go back and paint in a bunch of different Kang faces. Sorry, Quantumania.
But also,
yeah, paint in a bunch of different.
No,
Kang
they can
faces.
just leave his mask on, like just put his little.
He did have that little mask.
His little visor.
Yeah, good point.
But then that way they can take it off 500 times.
That's a good point. That movie was so good at taking masks off and putting them back on.
Good lord.
That was the highlight of that
Take
movie.
a shot every time.
No, we want people to live through the movie.
That's true.
We don't want people to die.
No dying. Okay.
JT says, I just beat the Valhalla DLC.
I was going to ask.
Really good.
Have either of you, so just to jump ahead into what we did this week, did either of you play the Valhalla DLC?
No, not yet.
I'm pretty excited. That's free. A free DLC. I've heard really good things about it, especially for it being free. Like, it doesn't seem like it's under.
I've heard it adds a great story element to it too, which is cool.
And they also said they're like, this ain't the end. There's more. There's more story.
Yeah.
It's like, what's next?
What
else?
Yeah. No, I've not played it.
But JT, glad to hear that kind of what we've heard is more or less confirmed by you. It's really good. That's awesome. What did you guys do this week?
I can go first because I had a somewhat big thing that I wanted to touch on really quickly. I was invited to the closed Skull and Bones beta.
That's right.
I kind of just wanted to talk about my experience with the game. Loaded in, everything went fine, right?
What you played on?
Xbox. Loaded in, everything went fine. Getting into it, into the beta was easy. Good job by Ubisoft for making a beta program that's super easy to work through. That's probably the end of the positive things I'll say about this game.
Oh no,
it's trash.
I played through the initial tutorial fight. they've improved the ship battling from what Assassin's Creed was by making it more, you hit left trigger, you zoom in, it's like first-person shooter kind of thing. The ship movement's bad. I don't think it's fun to play, right? I don't think it's particularly, like, it's not a bad game, it's just not fun. Like, the game works.
Is there a, like, sometimes there could be like a low floor but a high ceiling. Is there room for, like, if someone sinks a lot of hours in this, they're gonna get really good at the nuances of combat, and like that could be fun? Like, theoretically, of course, because you haven't played it that much.
No.
Okay. I just wasn't sure how intricate the combat was.
No, it's boring. Like, there's 2 firing modes. One is you shoot a bunch of arrows, one is you shoot a bunch of cannons. The cannons don't take any time to reload, so you can just blast cannonballs forever. I mean, I guess it doesn't look horrible. The character models are bad, but like the ships in water look fine.
Yeah.
I started blasting.
I played it, and I'm not kidding you. Like, you can call this review incomplete. You can call it what you want. I played through the tutorial fight, which you fight like 15 ships. Then you get killed. It's a scripted death.
Oh, sure.
You survive that death. You get washed up on this little boat, and they're like, hey, we gotta go to this island. And that's where you'll pick up your first quest. I'm going to the island. A shark attacks me. I can't fight it because I don't have anything to fight it with. I get to the island. It tells me I can't interact with the island quest because I'm being in combat, but I have nothing to fight it with. So then I just ride the boat around for a while until the shark leaves me alone. I go to the island. I talk to the guy. He's like, hey, I want you to go float around these islands and pick up these things. And I was like, cool, close, uninstall. I'm done playing this game. That was my experience. And if it's for you, it's for you. It's not for me. Yeah, I knew that pretty quickly. It is. I don't like the ship stuff in Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
This is what spun this game out, 12 years ago. I'm not into it. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe somebody will enjoy it.
So
it was a 6-hour beta. You could play 6 hours of the game.
Day 1 on Game Pass?
It'll be on Ubisoft, whatever their thing is.
Yeah.
Ubisoft games Plus usually come to Game Pass, though.
Pretty quick.
That's why I'm waiting for Avatar. I really want to play it, but I'm just going to wait for it to be there eventually. It might be like 6 months to a year, but I got plenty of time to play it for the next Avatar movie, so...
True. This is a good point.
Yeah, it's not for me, man.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, not
unfortunate, but expected.
Well, yeah, like the writing was on the wall, and my hope was like, oh, I can see why maybe there's some rough edges, but at the core of it, there's something there that was worth sticking onto for 4 years of delays.
It could not be more the opposite.
Yeah, that sucks.
Where it's like the game works, everything works fine, it doesn't lag, it runs well, but it is not fun to play. Like, it's just not fun.
I don't think it'll come to Game Pass actually, because Xbox has Sea of Thieves. They just want you to play Sea of Thieves.
Which is a better experience. Yeah. I don't even like that game.
I mean, they may put it on there.
Oh.
Bleeding. Just to get people who want to check this out and then are like, oh, but actually, Sea of Thieves is better. Go play Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, that's probably true. I guess I could hit on very quickly the other things I've done. Yeah. Played some more Baldur's Gate. Yeah. Game's really good. It's really fun. Dana has been playing it with me some too. And
do you play on the same character or a different one when you're solo?
I play on a different character when I'm solo. She today texted me and said, "Hey, I was just talking to so and so about Baldur's Gate." So she's like talking to people at work about it now. She's really enjoying it. We're having a blast. Just running around doing hood rat things in the world. In my solo campaign, I'm in the Goblin camp. Or the Goblin Lair camp, whatever you want to call it. It is... the
lure.
It's challenging.
Are you fighting in there?
Mm-hmm. I'm working on the 3 leaders. Mm-hmm. I've gotten 2 of them down.
Which ones? I
did the little goblin lady. Mm-hmm. And then I did the barbarian guy. And now I have the drow left to do. And I've fought
her. The barbarian was the hardest one for me.
I fought her, but I forgot to bring my pal with me, and I got wrecked. But
I had to do a lot of leveling up before I felt confident in.
I'm level 3 in there.
Yeah.
It's a challenge, but I'm figuring it out.
And you saved the druids? Or
I saved Hausen, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep.
Because you can just kill him too.
I still have to go back to the camp with him after I clear. You can't go back until you finish the goblins once you have them with you. So.
Once you have who with you?
Hausen.
Oh, I never took him with me anywhere.
Yeah, I saved him in the ward pen, and now he's running around with me.
I don't remember
in wild form. It's dope.
I was exploring all over the place, and then.
Yeah, I was exploring, and then I got wrecked by some goblins, and I was like, "Oh snap! This is the goblin camp." It's a ton of fun. Great game. Just can't wait to play more of it. And then the other thing I did, also with Dana, is we watched the first 2 episodes of Reacher. We haven't watched the third one yet.
I watched the first 2 as well.
Yeah. Well, so Dana likes to watch them in 2s, so she wants to wait till Friday to watch the next 2. Because 1 episode's not enough.
But 3's too many.
Too many. She's like a binge watcher. So like she wants to watch for an extended period of time. First 2 episodes, really good.
Yes.
Really good.
Great.
Love the mystery they're setting up.
I think the best part about this season so far is that it's just not at all the same like the first one.
So different.
But it feels like it went right into it.
Yeah, it's really well done. Also, I'm really happy we're spending more time with Neely. I like the character of Neely a lot. I think she's great.
The whole
team is good. Yeah.
Is awesome.
Yeah.
And I am just waiting for one of them to be bad.
Yeah.
It's got it written all over it. I think it'd be really cool if one of them isn't.
Yeah. No, it's really good. I'm enjoying it.
Also, underrated part about the show is at the beginning with the opening credits and all that, it says, based on the book, gives the title of the book that this Reacher season is based on. And it's not just like based off the book series Reacher. It's like, no, this season is based off this book, this story.
Yeah.
I think that is super cool.
Yeah, it's nice. And I think Lee Child has had some input throughout this, which is great. But it's awesome, man. Yeah. I love, like you said, how different it feels from season 1 in terms of just the entire dynamic. Like, it's so good. Like,
this first season was like, who is this Reacher dude?
Yeah.
And then this season, you're like kind of learning more about him a little bit. And
dude,
the murder mystery kind of involves his past a little bit because it's him and his squad.
Yeah, his squad's synopsis. His squad that he worked with in the past, some of them are showing up dead.
Yep.
Ooh.
So you're kind of getting the team back together, kind of thing.
Is a mystery.
You don't mess with the special investigators.
That's weird, baby.
It's a ton of fun. I am really looking forward to watching episodes 3 and 4 on Friday.
Yep, I'm excited.
Alan Ritchson, just
awesome.
I feel like he gets better every time I see him, man.
He's so good.
He's so good, and there's a lot of buzz about him online. If you're seeing it, just
for what?
There's a lot of buzz about him as Batman for James Gunn.
Oh, I had seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a massive Batman. Make Ben Affleck's Batman look so
Yeah, it's he's been asked about it directly. So it started because Kevin Smith made a comment about it. It was like, Reacher's Batman without a cape. Why don't you just cast Alan Ritchson? Like, he kind of
in the murder, but
yeah,
he's killing people.
But he came up with that, and then it kind of took off from there. And so someone asked him at the Reacher premiere, like, who would win between Reacher and Batman? He's like, well, with all the rumors that I'm playing Batman, I don't want to pick against Batman. And he's like, so I think Batman would win, but like Reacher would be a good fight. Like, I think Reacher could survive for like 30 minutes. It's kind of like what he said.
Let's be real. They'd fight for a bit, then they'd team up.
Yeah.
But it's just funny, he's like, yeah, I'd love to play Batman. And he's had a history with DC in the past, and, I don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire, but I don't think there's much smoke. I think it's all just for fun right now.
Yeah. I'm not sure how far that movie is along besides...
They have a director, and it's probably been, yeah, and he won't cast without a script. So, that's pretty much it. Still watching Blue Eye Samurai when I can watch it without,
Yeah.
It's.
Hey children, come watch this.
Come watch this show. We're gonna watch these people get dismembered. Great show though. Absolutely
awesome
love
show.
it. Absolutely love it. Cool.
Sweet.
Luke?
Me, I've got quite a bit of things to get through. The first thing, I guess I don't want to talk about Reacher again, but The Crown, the final season, part 2 came out this past
Oh,
weekend.
I didn't even realize that came out.
Yeah, so I finished that. Really good stuff. It's an end of an era, and I'm honestly gonna miss it.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting look into just honestly like a different world.
Yeah.
Even a different type of celebrity.
Yep.
It's such a great show. The acting and set production and music and everything is just so well done. I really like how they ended it. I thought it was really well done. I do think that this newest season is probably the weakest. I think they focus a little too much on Diana, and Queen Elizabeth felt like she took a back seat. And I was even thinking about this today. The way I would have done the show is do more things from Queen Elizabeth's perspective. Like, how is Diana and Prince Charles's all their stuff affecting her? And then eventually you get to the bit in the story where they open an investigation into Diana's death, and you can be like, here's what happened. I think that would have been more interesting, kind of like you're finding out what happened with the characters, but they lay it all out for you, and it's not badly done. Like, I still really enjoyed it. But I think that would have been another way to do it. Great show. It's a booyah. The whole series is booyah.
Strong rating.
Yep. It's one of the best shows on Netflix. And I mean, it's up for Emmys every year.
Oh, yeah.
Without question. It's like, and The Crown came out this year. Just put one person in each category.
Always been recognized as such. Yeah.
I finished my Nolan rewatch. My copy of Oppenheimer came.
Nice.
So I rewatched that. I still stand with my original review of it, that it is a great movie, but the last act is strangely distant from Oppenheimer, and the Trinity test was a letdown. And I think I figured out why I was disappointed by it. Throughout the middle section of the movie, they're talking about how powerful a nuke is.
Yeah.
It's like a pill of fire a mile high. And then it explodes, and it's night, and it's just a fireball. There's no sense of scale in how big it actually is.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been... I think you could have shown that a little better. And I think that's why it fell flat for me. Still an awesome movie, though. And Cillian Murphy's definitely going to win Best Actor this year.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's so good at that movie.
It's mind-boggling.
If you're interested in my ranking of all the Nolan movies, I have a list on my Letterboxd.
Ooh,
yeah.
Nice.
Go tell me why I'm wrong, you idiot.
Luke, you're wrong. You're so wrong, dude.
I quit. Another thing that I did, this came out last year, but I watched Violent Night.
It's over on Netflix, Hulu.
I just saw your review on Letterboxd
for Violent Night.
Yeah. That's good. That is good, clean family fun.
So my review on Letterboxd, I gave it 2 stars.
But the review is what makes it great.
Just dumb enough to enjoy. It's not particularly good in my opinion, but I think the dumbness of it and just the situation of everything is worth it enough to watch it once, and then you go, great, that was fun, and I'm never gonna think about this movie again.
Yeah.
Like, it's a total B movie, just in, with everything about it. I thought the action was not particularly good. You got 80 cronies in this house. They all have guns, and Santa's using a hammer. And none of them, ever shoot at him. It's like, and that, even the best action scene probably, which is the barn scene, felt like it was just so cut away. When for 87 productions or 87 whatever, it's the John Wick people, I think, who did it, the action, and I don't know, I think they've done better. But yeah, it was just dumb enough to enjoy once. I'll never watch it again. I'd rather stick to my classic favorites that I have, like Christmas Vacation and the greatest Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life.
Amen.
Not just a great Christmas movie. That is one of the best movies I think ever made. I think it can be in that list. Okay, how are we going here? This is probably the biggest thing I did this week. I finally signed up. I finally downloaded Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
Just in time for the giant update they put out today.
They put an update out today?
Yeah.
Oh.
New PvP stuff, range mode.
I don't care about that.
There's a big patch, too.
I'm not playing PvP. Freaking single player is hard enough, dude. I was pretty late tonight. That's why I was eating right at the start of the show. I was just getting pummeled by a boss in this game, and it was destroying the heck out of me. And I was set on beating him before I got here. It was the chapter 1 finale boss, the giant ringed thing that shoots 1 billion missiles at you. And Tyler, what am I?
Bad at video games.
Bad at video games. So I was working up a sweat. I was trying real hard, and I eventually beat it, and it felt great. And yeah, this game is awesome.
Does it rip?
It rips
Yeah.
my heart out when I die, because it reminds me that I suck.
You got this, man. Just stay the course. Try to stay patient. Eventually you'll beat it.
Yeah.
It'll just take you a while.
Yeah. It is going to take me a while. I think the best thing about the game, though, is... And I think this would be an awesome game award. And it might tie loosely into accessibility. But just controller integration. How does your game integrate the use of a controller to work well? And I think that's the best thing about this game. I feel like if I hit a button, it does what I want. And I might die. I might dodge late or suck at flying. I'm terrible at flying, dude. I need boots on the ground. But I feel like if I hit a button, my mech does it. And it just feels so good to play.
JT said it's a tough boss.
Yeah.
He said they even nerfed it because it was so
they
tough.
did?
Yeah, he said he had beat it before they nerfed it, but it was tough.
So I beat it with an asterisk.
No, they nerfed it for everyone, not just you.
No. I'm okay with an asterisk.
You'll take it.
Lakers got an asterisk for their bubble win. It's fine.
Take your wins when you can get them, baby.
A win is a win.
That's right.
A win is a win.
You can only play the people across from you.
That's right. But yeah, just the way your character moves and the way it responds to you think is so well done.
That's awesome.
It's a beautiful game. It looks super good. I'm in performance mode and it's super crispy.
I feel like with a game like that, it has to be.
Dude, you're flying around so fast. If there wasn't a performance mode, I would have questions. I did turn on ray tracing though for a little bit, and when I played, still felt good.
Are you on Xbox or PlayStation?
I'm on Xbox.
Okay.
It still felt good to play.
Mm.
But load times plummeted. I thought my Xbox froze.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was on a black screen. I was like, what happened? And eventually I loaded into my mission. I was like, that was weird.
Huh.
Then I loaded into another mission after I beat that one, and it took forever again. Just a black screen. I was like, what the heck? What did I do? I was like, oh, I turned on ray tracing. I'm going to turn that back off. And then it was fine. It was fine. And the game is still beautiful.
Yeah.
Ray tracing was not needed.
Yeah,
Might be more of a PC thing.
From makes pretty games.
Yeah.
Their games are very good looking.
And I think it's pretty impressive with how pretty it is, with how kind of dull the world is.
Yeah.
Because you're in a destroyed city and you're giant, so there's a different sense of scale.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super weird when you'll be flying around and you land on the ground and it's like, oh, I have 1 foot on this highway road and 1 foot on this highway road because I'm ginormous.
Yeah.
and you're just like standing on top of a building. It's like a 40-story building.
That's so dope.
I want an Armored Core anime now. Because the best part is at least as far as I know, I'm not super far into the game, I'm pretty sure, but there's not really any characters you meet. It's just a world full of stories that an anime storyteller could tell. It's like, hey, we have characters, we have mechs, let's ride! And I'm here for it. It's time for another mecha anime. And just license Armored Core. Why not?
Love it.
Bring in the fans, baby.
Sweet.
Love it.
But yeah, I'm really excited to get back into it, even though it stresses me out. Because what am I?
Bad at video games. I love that we've got like a call now for this.
Right.
I'm glad you're giving it a shot though, because it's one that you were interested in, but you were a little worried about the difficulty.
Yeah, I love mech anything. If it's a mech something, you'll have my ear.
Yeah.
And I remember when the first trailer came out, and I was just like, this is my chance
to
finally do it.
You're gonna play a From game.
And then like everybody was talking like, oh dude, these Armored Core games might be even harder than the Souls, and it's just like, oh no. But I guess this one is a lot more
accessible
Good. To people like me.
Good.
But yeah, I'm having a blast. I want you guys to try it too. Like if you're ever over, I just want you to feel what it feels like to fly around and shoot stuff and dodge. And
yeah, JT posted a comment here, and he said the best way to describe it is the mech feels weighty but very responsive.
Yeah. It reminds me of, I haven't watched tons of Gundam, but I do love Netflix's Voltron. I know that's not technically anime, but it's anime adjacent. Mm-hmm. And Voltron flies around at the speed of light. Like, it's a magical robot.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like I'm kind of getting that. Like, I juke around and I'm so fast, but when I hit the ground and the earth shatters,
you feel it.
And there's this chunk, it's like, oh yeah, I'm big.
Yeah.
I'm really big.
He said also, like, as you upgrade and stuff throughout the game, it gets better at being responsive, too.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
Like, and I think that's one of the difficulties about the intro of the game is I don't have all the good stuff yet.
Yeah.
I just beat this boss, and I went into the shop where you earn money through the game and you buy weapons. It's not microtransactions. It's in-game money.
Yeah.
And just so much stuff, and I was like, oh man, let the mech building begin.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying it, because like I feel like with Souls games, they can very quickly become unenjoyable for people.
Yeah. Maybe I'm just more interested in Souls games that have guns, because I liked Remnant.
It's true.
I'm liking this.
Maybe so. Bleeding everywhere?
I'm bleeding.
Brah, don't do that.
Podcasting injury.
Anything else?
I'm still enjoying Monarch. You guys watching that?
Yep.
I really liked the last episode.
I'm still behind, but
got a lot more Godzilla in this episode, which is cool.
That's the one where he's in the. Are they in the desert? Mm-hmm. Okay, I have not. I saw the preview for it, but I haven't watched that one yet. So I'm one episode behind.
I'm really just so interested in the flashbacks. I think the flashbacks are so interesting. Yeah. I think the present day stuff is cool.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Flashback stuff is the best. I think we mentioned that in our earlier review.
Yep. Yeah. And then, are you still watching Murder at the End of the World?
I think there's 2 episodes. I have the other 2 episodes left.
It's got to be getting over soon because they are done in the flashbacks. They wrapped that up.
Okay, so I think there's the last episode. I think airs tonight.
Oh really?
I think finale is tonight. So okay. I had 9 and then the finale. So I'll probably just do it.
Who do you think it is? I've had the same guess from day one. It's Ray. It's Ray.
I mean, that's the one that makes the most sense, right?
It's Ray. It's so much about technology.
Yeah.
And it's the person that hasn't been suspected yet.
Right.
And I think this is the fault of the show, is it does the kind of cliche thing of, is it you? Nope. Is it you? Nope. Is it you? Nope. Now we're in the last episode.
Right.
And it's like, so I'm kind of hoping it isn't Ray.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it'd be like, oh. Like, it was my original guess, too. But Oh, sorry. I just thought about this too. We got the best reference in Reacher with the Robert Patrick, where they're talking about, hey, these two people used two fake names. And one was some Yankees pitcher and Sarah Connor. And he's like, no, that was a picture for the Pirates. What are you talking about? Who the hell's Sarah Connor? So awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, like Luke said, I've been watching those two shows. Still enjoying them. Other than that, I've been playing a little bit of Apex with some of my other friends. Been enjoying that.
Did you fall off Alan Wake?
I have, but I need to get back.
The Remedy games don't do it for him, man.
I don't.
Well, single player games that don't involve space travel.
Yeah.
So I sunk plenty of hours in Starfield.
Or magic wands.
Also true.
It's sci-fi fan. It may be more just the setting. No, to me, I think it's. I just want my games to be more. I don't know. I don't need a game to be a movie. And I think Remedy does amazing storytelling, and sometimes I just want it to be to the next point. I don't want to have to play to get to the next point. Like, their gameplay isn't so good that I'm like willing to sit through a half hour of gameplay to get to the next story beat. But their stuff is good. Like, their stories are good. And
Alan Wake 2 is kind of a walking simulator.
And their gameplay isn't bad. Like, Control was complicated, but still good.
Control is chaos, man.
Hey, you have 2 weeks to beat it. Get off, then I won't get any points.
That's true.
Because I'm counting that one.
Spite play it.
I could. Oh my gosh.
And then you can start working on a script treatment for when it gets a show.
He's too busy to play it.
I'm so freaking busy.
We got him.
Well, shouldn't have been a husband and father.
Should have been sandbagging it all year. Are you still reading Fourth Wing?
Yeah.
How far are you?
Not much further.
We'll talk about it.
Okay.
So our wives can be happy that we talked about it.
Sorry, we had a question.
Okay.
It's from Trevor. So for the Fanbox, we can just kind of go into that real quick.
Is it about Zack Snyder and Rebel Moon and how that movie looks?
No, it's actually not.
Dude, you're judging it too early, man.
I haven't even seen
I forgot.
Bro.
Can't have feelings.
Can't trust Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
WB owns them.
I was incorrect. Our Fanbox question is from Baroque. In the chat.
Shout out Baroque.
Fanbox question is: if you were a wrestler, what would your finisher move be, and can you demonstrate it on camera? We have a camera, gentlemen.
I'm gonna say I can't demonstrate it on camera, and I'm gonna say I'll do the Rikishi finisher.
Describe it.
He was like a giant sumo guy, and he would put his butt on people's face.
Okay.
I think his name was Rikishi. Is that right, Baroque? If you're in the chat still.
What all does it like? As someone who's not
the People's Elbow from The Rock. You Can't See Me from John Cena.
It's a finisher. So it's against.
Nailed it. Never even watched.
RKO
from Randy Orton.
Okay.
Stone Cold Stunner.
He called it the stink face, is what Rikishi called it.
It would be like, what is your knockout move in your...
Yeah.
Dude, the Stone Cold Stunner is like top notch with the beard, all that stuff. That's pretty good.
What is that? What is that one?
Stone Cold.
No,
like people in the crowd.
But I don't know what it is.
I like kick him in the groin and then turn around and like.
Gotcha.
I watched way more wrestling than I thought I did as a kid.
I only know the famous ones because they're like the meme ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably more accurate.
I don't know. Something like
Last Ride is one. I guess that's Undertaker, I'm assuming. Sounds like something he would call it because he's a motorcycle guy.
Mine's probably not gonna be cool. That's the thing. I don't. You know what I'm thinking of? Like Avatar: The Last Airbender moves that I could realistically pull off, which is very little. But you can get away with stuff because it's mostly / all scripted.
This would be mine.
Yeah.
And I'm stealing it from Super Smash Bros. My go-to character was Peach. The 3 characters I've only been good with, 2.5 characters I've been good with have been Peach and Samus / Zero Suit Samus. But Peach, one of her moves is she can pull a toad out of the ground and you can block and chuck it with them. So mine would be to pull a giant mushroom out of the ground. I would block their move, they fall over, but then I whip out the random sporting equipment and whack them with it.
What is the move from Peanut Butter Falcon called?
Don't look at me, I don't remember such things.
Impossible's Flying Eagle or something?
Doesn't he dress up the Flying Eagle.
Yeah.
It is the Flying Eagle?
I think so.
Mine would be...
Or the Flying Falcon.
His name was Peanut Butter Falcon.
Yeah.
Mine would be an ear... What is this called? An ear clap? When, like, you, like, bop them.
Just rupture someone's eardrums?
And like...
It's nice.
And then as they're standing there, you just, like... Doop! And then they fall over. Just boop! Right down on the forehead. And then they fall back.
Just take a move from Mortal Kombat. It's be like, well...
I rip out
when they're
their
standing
intestine.
there dazed, I poke out their eyes and I catapult them into space, throw them into the sun, and then I make a smoothie out of their toenails. I don't know. Something.
And then the sun falls on top of them.
Yeah, and destroys the earth. Everybody dies.
Everybody dies.
Dude, Mortal Kombat's kind of weird.
Brett would do Sweet Chin music.
Ooh, that's a good one. You just kick somebody in the jaw.
If my flexibility allows me to get that high, I'm here for it.
Actually, I got mine. It would be the oldest trick in the book. What's that? There's my actual one.
Fun fact.
And that would be the name of it too. The oldest trick in the book.
Love it.
I wrestled for 1 year in 8th grade. That's all my wrestling experience.
I didn't.
I wrestled my cousins at family gatherings. Does that count?
Yes.
Luke strikes me as a Samoan drop kind of guy. What's a Samoan drop?
Like a...
Does it involve... I assume it involves dropping on to someone who's on the ground.
Sounds like a reference for taking a deuce. Man, I gotta do a Samoan drop.
Oh, boy.
24 Samoan drops that will take the wind
out
of your sails. Oh my gosh! See, the good thing about my oldest trick in the book is I'm a scrawny, tiny person. So just...
Dude, this is
we can
crazy.
beef you up.
I can't lift people.
We'll beef you up.
There will be no lifting.
Oh, that's Rikishi. Did you see him? That's the dude. That's him.
Dude, how do people not die doing this? I know it's like the floor has give and they are extremely well trained, but like...
Dude, they be wrecking each other.
Ouch, dude. Oh my gosh.
You're a Samoan dropper.
No, I'm the oldest trick. I had to make up my original move.
I like it, Luke. I appreciate it. I think
love
that's
it.
incredibly original.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Even though I stole it from
From
the oldest
society.
Trick in the book.
Yeah.
I stole it right from the book. It was the first one in there. It's just like, oh, that one.
All
Then
right.
you go down the rest of the list.
Well, thank you all for watching and listening
We went
to
long.
our extra long episode of the What the Fanboy Show. Next week,
Powerbomb.
we will not be live streaming on Monday night. We may do a special
Why do all wrestling moves sound like I
episode
gotta take a power ball?
The Powerbomb. Captain
later in
Insano
the
shows
week.
no mercy.
But until then, everyone have a Merry Christmas, because Monday is Christmas, so that's why
Wait,
we're not,
are we doing a special recording?
we may do one later in the week. We have to.
I can just come over at like 9.
I
Me
believe-
and you can chat.
I believe it.
We can hang stockings.
You're assuming I'm gonna be here.
You said last week I'm going to be
Well-
here, Luke, 100%.
Things change. between last week and this week.
I can't believe you would just say that to my face and straight up lie.
What a guy, right?
Plans don't change ever.
Not if you say them.
Once you say them, they're not allowed to change.
Set in stone.
If you change them, you're a jerk.
But if you follow us along on Twitter or Instagram, we'll try and keep you informed of what's happening. Or if you just listen, the next episode will just drop at some point, right? So
our next episode though will probably be Aquaman / DCEU retrospective, which will be a lot of fun.
Oh, we're not doing a complete 2-hour breakdown of Rebel Moon? Come on, Luke.
I'm including that in the DCU retrospective.
It's probably connected somehow.
And anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Until next time, we'll see ya.
Goodbye.